Hi and welcome to the channel. This is going to be sort of a different video than the Wizard 101 playthroughs that we've been doing. I wanted to take a second and I want to address an issue that I haven't seen a lot of other people talking about, and that is the problem of Thanos in Avengers Endgame. And I know what everybody's thinking. How could you have a problem with Avengers Endgame if it was perfect? And well, yes, I did like it a lot. I did think Infinity War was better, and I'm going to get into why. I thought I did some things better than in Endgame. So one of the main problems is, as I'm going to call this, I'm going to call it the Thanos problem. With Thanos in Infinity War, those of you who keep up with Marvel movies, is going after what's called the Infinity Stones. So he can collect all of them and create the Infinity Gauntlet, so he can become the most powerful being in the universe, and he can snap his fingers and obliterate half of all life in the universe. With there being 6 stones, he's going after them, and the Avengers are trying to take him out, and their own separate little teams and stuff. In Avengers Endgame, he doesn't have any stones. It's a Thanos from a different timeline, so he doesn't have any of the stones yet. And the problem is, Thanos is stronger with no stones than he is with all of the stones. At the beginning of Infinity War, we see Thanos face off against the Hulk. At this point in time, Thanos does have the Power Stone, which means that Thanos, when he beats Hulk, probably was channeling some of that power through the Power Stone. Hence why he's able to beat Thor and Hulk hand-to-hand combat pretty easily. Later on in the film, Thanos faces off against Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Drax the Destroyer, Mantis, as he now has, I believe, 4 stones. He has the Power Stone, he has the Space Stone, he has the Reality Stone, and he has the Soul Stone. He has 4 stones now as he's facing off against these guys. And when he faces off against them, he's able to defeat most of them pretty easily. But Iron Man and some of his best armor is able to face off against Thanos in a 1v1 fight and able to hold his own for a certain amount of time. Now, mind you, Iron Man could have ended the fight. I'll play the clip in a second here, but he could have ended the fight by, instead of making a giant hammer, he could have made his fist into a sword and it would have stabbed right through Thanos' head. So then Thanos, he gets the time stone from them and he goes down to Earth. Now he has 5 Infinity Stones. With these 5 Infinity Stones, Scarlet Witch is able to hold him off, and Captain America is able to take. Thanos flings Captain America away. Captain America comes back and is able to. Actually, I believe he punches Thanos and brings Thanos to his knee, like one down to one knee, and he's able to hold back Thanos with 5 Infinity Stones for a certain amount of time. He's able to uppercut Thanos so hard that his chin bucks up, so he does have some power behind his punches. As you know, Thanos gets all 6 stones. He's about to make the snap, and then Thor, who been on this quest the whole movie to create a brand new axe, new hammer called Stormbreaker, is able to single-handedly beat Thanos. Now Thanos is using the power of all 6 stones, and Thor is able to defeat Thanos with all 6 stones. Of course, Thanos still snaps his fingers because Thor doesn't kill him, but Thor alone, with his one new hammer, is able to defeat Thanos. And keep that in mind. Iron Man is able to face off against Thanos with 4 stones for a limited amount of time and do damage to him. Captain America can do damage to him when he had 5 stones. And Thor is able to defeat Thanos when Thanos has all 6 stones. Now to Endgame. In Endgame, a Thanos from a different timeline, a 4 years younger Thanos comes to the current timeline. There has been a 5-year gap in between Infinity War and Endgame. But in this time, and when this final battle takes place, Captain America, well, maybe not at his prime, is still the best soldier in history, and now has his vibranium shield back, and not those stupid little Wakanda gauntlet things. Iron Man has his best armor to date, and Thor, at this point in time, has both of his hammers. He has his old hammer, and he has his new hammer at this point in time. Thanos has no stones. He has this stupid little one-sided sword, which, because of the way it's formatted, he can only really do downward swings with. Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America facing off against Thanos when Thanos has no stones. Keep in mind, Thanos does want to get the stones, and Thanos does know that his future self dies, but Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America are fighting with much more hatred and ferocity than Thanos is because they really want this man dead. They know what he can do, they've seen it happen before. Alright, here's when the problem comes in. Thanos with no stones is able to easily defeat Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America by himself. Like no problem. Like there's literally he nearly has almost zero to no issue just whooping all their asses all at once. Thanos is now much too strong. Now I get it. Thanos is a really strong guy. It takes a lot to knock him down. He has to be big and brooding because if he's not the big bad guy. If they can just smack him around, then he wouldn't be the big bad of the Marvel universe. But keep this in mind, each of these three, when Thanos had stones, were able to do damage or defeat Thanos. And now he has no stones, and he beats them all at the same time. Thor charges Iron Man with a bunch of electricity, and Iron Man shoots a laser, a continuous stream of energy, a laser, at Thanos. And Thanos is somehow able to spin his sword so fast, it's able to deflect the constant flow of energy coming from this laser. Captain America picks up Thor's hammer. And now he has his vibranium shield and he has Thor's hammer. The very first hit Captain America does, he starts spinning the hammer, the same effect that Thor uses to make him be able to fly. Starts to spin the hammer and uppercuts Thanos to the point where Captain America is in the air and he hits Thanos so hard that Thanos goes into the air. Thanos doesn't really have a lot of armor right here on his chin, so that hits directly on his chin, and he hits Thanos directly on the chin with the hammer that's nearly indestructible, with the full force that he went off the ground and made Thanos go off the ground. So this is a lot of power behind this one swing. This alone should have broken Thanos' jaw, should have bruised his jaw, if not instantly killed him. We saw Thor use the same exact move on a big rock monster in Thor the Dark World, and it blew the rock monster apart. So Captain America starts doing some body shots to Thanos, doing combinations with his shield and with the hammer. And Thanos is kind of knocking him away, and to the point where I believe Captain America hits him in the knee with the hammer, which should hurt a lot. And then he also throws his shield at Thanos. Thanos knocks the shield away, and Captain America throws the hammer and hits the shield, which makes that gong effect, which just hits Thanos in the back. Now, if you remember when the last time we saw this happen, it was in Age of Ultron. And in Age of Ultron, Thor and Captain America use the gong effect, and it splits an entire forest in half, knocks down a whole bunch of soldiers, and splits a steel truck in half. That's how powerful this is, and it just sort of makes Thanos go, ugh. Captain America starts to use lightning on Thanos. Pulls lightning from the hammer, and he hits Thanos with a stream of lightning that I believe knocks him to the ground and pushes him into the ground. That's how hard that he's hitting with his lightning. He's making him slide across the ground, pushing him deeper into the ground. That's how hard he's hitting him with his lightning. Then he calls lightning from the top of, I guess, the heavens, and calls it down on him, and it hits him directly for a couple of seconds. And then what does Thanos do? He gets up instantly and just beats Captain America up instantly, as if nothing had just happened to him. He just gets up and starts beating him up. It's ridiculous. Thanos is ridiculously overpowered in this movie. Thor, with one hammer, is able to take out Thanos with all the stones, but Thor with two hammers can't take out Thanos with no stones. You could argue, well, Thor was fat in this movie, so it lowered his mobility and it lowered his speed, and he was always drunk. But in this moment, Thor is extremely focused. You look at him, he's not drunk, he's not wasted, he is 100% focused. Now, this is a god who has thousands of years of battle experience and battle training. In the span of 5 years of him maybe not fighting all the time, or him maybe not being in the best shape of his life, isn't going to mean that he's lost all of those thousands of years of battle and war experience. He's going to instantly kill him. I mean, Thor alone should be able to beat Thanos in this. Iron Man has the best armor he's ever had. Iron Man does nothing in this fight. I don't even think he lands a single hit on Thanos. He just gets knocked away and then knocked out. Captain America, wielding a god hammer, should have probably killed Thanos, or should have crippled him. He hit him with such a force that his jaw should be split into pieces. That's how hard he hit him. There's the stupid argument of, well, this is Thanos in his prime. Okay, let's pretend like Thanos is about 50 in human years. He's about middle age. So if you take somebody who's 50 and take them when they're 45, that's not really in your prime. Thanos in his prime would have been years and years and years before, back when he was with Gamora. That's Thanos in his prime, probably. Not him 5 years before. I mean, he's still middle aged, basically. He's not gonna magically be 10 years younger, or be able to fight, or be have some. It's a stupid argument. He's not in his prime. He's just 5 years younger. What I would prefer to have happened is I would have loved if those three Avengers were beating him, and they were about to kill him, and then Thanos' army came down, and then that's when they got overwhelmed. Everybody knows Thanos is powerful, but it's a matter of he also has a huge army, and that's why he could probably win. It just frustrated me watching it in theaters, and it didn't seem to bother anybody else. It doesn't seem to bother anybody I've talked to. Nobody's talked about it online that I've seen. Nobody's saying anything. That the fact that Thanos with no Infinity Stones is stronger than Thanos with all of the Infinity Stones. It's absolutely ridiculous. I just really want to talk about this just because I've not seen anything out there about this, and I don't know if I'm the only person who thinks this way or who might see it in a certain perspective. But I do think Thanos is entirely too strong in Avengers Endgame. I think his depiction in Infinity War is very solid. He's really powerful, and he keeps getting more powerful, so it's harder and harder to kill him because he keeps getting all these stones. Whereas in Endgame, he has no stones, and he's able to just win just because he's the big bad guy. Which 100%, I understand you want your villain to be big and strong, but you don't want your villain to be so big and strong that it's just ridiculous. And you can say, well, it makes no sense how he was the most powerful being in the universe when he had all of the stones, but Thor was able to beat him with one hammer. And now it's Thor with both of his hammers, Captain America with his vibranium shield, and Iron Man with his best armor he's ever made, and Thanos with no stones, and they can't beat him. The movie is still good. Don't get me wrong. Endgame is a really good movie. It's a good conclusion to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it is something that bothered me while I was watching it, and I just want to get this out there because I've seen nobody else talking about it. So, uh, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, I don't know. Just let me know. I just thought it was something I wanted to bring up because I haven't seen anything out there. So, I'll be back with some more of these, and stay tuned for some more, maybe some gameplay or some more talking stuff. I'll be out. Y'all stay safe, get a Pepsi or something, and enjoy. Bye.